So what is spirited driving? Spirited driving is for people who have a keen sense of risk versus reward. What is the reward? Well, the reward is I get to enjoy my car, drive a little bit faster, and have some fun. Do stuff that maybe isn't appropriate in certain settings. What's the risk? Well, the risk is I crash my car, I hurt myself, I hurt other people. That other people part is especially true. Other people did not choose to spirited drive. They're just driving to get to the shops or get to wherever they're going to, and they haven't made the choice that you have made. Driving spiritedly in this scenario is not appropriate. The risk is far too high for too little reward. There's a bunch of people walking around, there's kids and stuff, there's grandmothers trying to cross the street. The road is a 20, maybe a 30 limit. There's no space here for having legal or slightly illegal fun. So you have to have a very keen sense of risk versus reward to enjoy spirited driving properly. Let's get onto some better roads and I'll show you what spirited driving actually is all about. Okay, so the road has opened up a little bit now. There's less pedestrians, there's less people, there's 2 lanes. Can we spirited drive here? No. The key part is the reward. What's the reward for me driving spiritedly here? There isn't. There's no corners for me to enjoy and interact with the car. There's no upside for my spirited driving. So a lot of young, silly petrol heads will try to drive spiritedly in these types of conditions. They'll weave in between cars. And if you want to see how wrong that can go, click this video up here for my car crash breakdown. Even though there are roundabouts here, this is not really what we're looking for spirited driving. We haven't got there yet. Let's get there. All right, now we're talking. We've got a little country lane, 50 miles an hour. Maybe we can have a little bit of spirited driving. We're going to stick the car into sport. Let's stick it over into manual mode. You'll notice I now have 2 hands on the wheel. A lot of people make comments about how I hold the steering wheel, and most of the time I drive like this, and I gesticulate. Because in normal driving, this car has such a quick steering rack, you don't need more than 1 hand. But now we're spirited driving. We want to enjoy this corner a little bit. So you need a bit more control on the wheel. Maybe you take 3rd and you squeeze it through here. Just have a little bit of fun. Guide the car through this corner and just enjoy what the car gives you. You paid for the car, you might as well enjoy it, right? Send it through this little corner. Enjoy the bouncing around. Enjoy the sound of the engine, the feel of the steering, the way the car is moving around under you, all the interaction that you get. But make note of the fact that when I'm doing that, I'm not trying to go as fast as I can. Trust me, this car can go a lot faster through those corners. I've got tons of space in front of me. There's no car for a long way in front of me, and there's no car for a long way behind me. When I take the corners, I'm staying within my lane. The whole point of spirited driving on the road is, once again, you have this balance between risk and reward. I've got a little tip for you guys if you really like your spirited driving. I've just come into a national speed limit. Just around the corner, there's a few slow cars. You might have just seen them go. There's no one behind me though. So if I want to have a little bit of fun, what I can do is just slow the hell down and have a huge gap in front of me. This is something that I do all the time to film these videos because it's not always clear on the roads that I want to be clear. So again, with the view of not pissing off and annoying everyone around us, it's a great way to do it. You inconvenience yourself a little bit because you have to drive a bit slowly, but now we've got a bit of clear air. We we can have our fun. All right, we've got a bit of a gap once again, and there's an amazing corner coming up, so I'm just gonna have a bit of spirited driving. Second gear, I don't know if we'll put the power down in second gear. I'm gonna floor it, let's find out. Oh God, those bloody tires are amazing. Goodyear Eagle F1. Check them out, get yourself a set because they're great. Oh, I do love these few corners, they are really good. But this is the real world. That is the end of my spirited driving. And that's the way you want to look at this. It's the risk reward, and also it's keeping everyone happy. Making sure that you're not hurting other people with your spirited driving. When I'm spirited driving, I don't want to get my car all out of shape and understeer into some kids or some people going for a run. I want to have my enjoyment, but I don't want to affect everyone else. So how hard you can drive is dependent on a lot of factors. You notice when I drive through the town, I'm in the highest gear I can be in just to keep the noise down. It's all about being a responsible petrol head. Yes, we're all petrol heads and we love our cars and we love driving fast and enjoying it and interacting with it. But there has to be a balance between us doing that and the old people at the side of the road that are just having a chat. They don't want to hear me coming down here, popping and banging and ruining their day. An important part of spirited driving is your mindset. Because if you're driving spiritedly, you're going to be the fastest car on that road, which means you have to be the best driver on that road. But as Spider-Man once said, with great power comes great responsibility. So it's up to you to not be a dick and frustrate everyone around you and annoy all the locals and just make them hate people that love cars. It's not what it's about. We find the right time, the right place, and that's where we enjoy our cars. And yes, if you're sat here in traffic, or if you're on your favorite road and there's a car in front of you doing 40, you have a responsibility to not scare these people. There's also a time and a place for spirited driving. I have come out far too late to have a fun drive. It's 10:52 at the moment, and people are living their lives. They're driving about, they're going to see their family, they're going shopping, they're doing whatever they need to do in their normal lives. It's very difficult to go for a spirited drive, especially on narrow country lanes like this where there isn't a huge amount of opportunity for overtakes when there are cars on the road. So what you want to do is just go out when there are no cars on the road. The best thing to do is go out super early in the morning, especially in summer where the sunrise is like 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. Just go out at the crack of dawn and then you'll have the road to yourself. And you get a good 2-3 hours of literally just being alone on the road. It's bliss, it's brilliant. That is the way to do it. Because if you go out a little bit later, like I've done today, you're just going to encounter traffic. And then you have to do this silly trick where you slow down a bunch and you have to try and build up a gap, and it's not very fun. Another important point is your choice of car if you like to do this sort of thing. And I'm going to say something slightly controversial. Less power is infinitely better. The problem with having a car like this with 300 horsepower is that I've got to leave a massive gap into the car in front of me because I'm just going to catch them very quickly. Car's got a lot of grip, it goes around corners quickly, accelerates quickly, it stops quickly. Like, I just need a huge gap. If you've got something that isn't fast, if you've got an older car with skinny tires that doesn't have a lot of power, 100 horsepower, 120 horsepower, for this type of driving, that's actually better because there'll be more times when you can go full throttle and enjoy the car and throw it into a corner because your ultimate grip and your ultimate speed is going to be a lot lower. That's just a nice to have for spirited driving. See, if I had a slower car here, I would be loving life. I'd be able to go full throttle and enjoy this car even at this speed. But unfortunately, Megane RS 300, she got a bit of performance, you know? She feels like a caged animal right now. She just wants to go. Oh, I do like this car.